His voice is usually a whisper.
What have you found to be, for you, ways that where you can find that kind of silence, that kind of solitude? Have you built a discipline where you say, I must begin my days, in my days, periodically throughout the week? But just as a creature, have you found there to be rhythms that you might be able to share all the way
Yeah.
from the west to the east?
That's such a great question. Yes, I try to do things that I naturally enjoy and that don't fill up my brain with noise. That's kind of basic. But I actually picked up a really special practice from the Desert Fathers, who were a monastic community in Egypt around the year 400. And it was really encouraging when I was reading like some of their stories and sayings that they struggled profoundly with distraction. Because it sort of is, okay, we sometimes idolize monastic-style lifestyles. If I could just go into the woods and be a hermit, all those voices would quiet down. If I could just move into the woods of Oregon and cavort among the creeks and beautiful wildflowers, that would be it.
It's half
Then
true.
I could hear God.
It's half true.
Then I could hear God. Yeah, it's half true.
It's half true.
But also it's not.
Yeah.
Right? I have a literal creek running 15 feet out of my kitchen door. It's wonderful. I can walk out and catch crawdads and toss rocks in the water. That's awesome. But you know what? I carry my noise around with me just like anybody else. And what the Desert Fathers said was, you have to, I'm summing up more than one teaching here, you have to let those things pass through you. Oof. You have to let those things pass through you. You have to allow yourself to be distracted without holding on to it. Because your mind has something to do. Your soul has something it wants to do. It has something it wants to say. You're speaking to yourself about yourself. And that noise, which really is a distraction and which really does need to be quieted for you to hear the Spirit, it's happening for a reason. And the louder you shout at it, the more noise you're creating. So the practice, which is super counterintuitive, is let it happen. If you want to quiet your soul down, just take some time, let the distraction come. In my experience, it's about 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's less than half the length of like standard television show. If you can sit through an episode of like a rerun of The Office, right? You can sit through that first flush of distraction. Let it come. Let it go. Because on the other side, at some point, you'll run out of things to say to yourself. You'll quiet down. And that's the point of holy crisis, where you'll start to hear the truth.
Yeah.